Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. My name's Lottie for those who are new here, and today I thought I'd do a soft glam makeup look to celebrate the restaurants and pubs finally opening back up. As we've been stuck in quarantine for so long, I haven't really worn very heavy makeup, if any makeup at all. So I thought I'd show you my go-to soft glam makeup look for going out for drinks or going for meals, as hopefully I'm going to be doing that a lot more now that pubs and restaurants are open. So before the video starts, if you haven't already, please do subscribe down below. It really does mean so much to me when I get a new subscriber. And if you want to see how I got this soft glam makeup look, just keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, I've pinned my hair back. I know it doesn't look the best, but you just got to get it out of your face. So I've pushed my hair back just into a clip, and I've also washed my hands. I've also cleansed and moisturised my skin so that it's ready for the makeup to be applied. So first of all, you want to prime your skin. Now the primer I use is the Professional primer, and I just use this in my T-zone. But also to make the makeup a bit more glowy, I actually use MAC Strobe Cream. So I just put that on the cheeks of my face, like everywhere but my T-zone basically, because my T-zone gets really oily, so I don't put it there, I just put the Professional there. And I always just apply, let me get my mirror. I always just apply primer with my fingers. I don't really think it needs a brush, to be honest. As long as your hands are clean, then I don't really think there's a problem with it. So I just rub that in. Okay, so once I've used the Professional, I then just use the strobe cream and do the same thing. Put a bit on the back of my hand, and then I'll just rub, probably a bit more than that actually, and then just rub that in to your cheeks, just to make it a bit glowy. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just made it a bit like more glowy, just because I use a very matte foundation, otherwise I wouldn't use that. Okay, so once you've prepped and primed your face, I then personally move on to foundation. Now if I was doing a heavy makeup look with like a smoky eye, I'd probably do my eyes first. But I'm actually just doing a soft glam today, so I don't think there'll be much fallout. So I'm going to go ahead and do my face makeup first before I do my eyes. Now as you can see, my face is actually a very, very different colour to my neck. And the foundation I use actually matches my neck more than my face, because when I go in the sun, I don't like to get my face in it because apparently it causes wrinkles and I don't really want that. So yeah, I don't really get my face in the sun, so I tan the rest of my body but not my face. And normally before a night out, the foundation I'm using is my night out foundation, and normally before a night out I will fake tan, so I'll be normally quite a bit darker than I am now. So the foundation that I've got actually matches my normal fake tan shade, so if it looks a bit dark, that's why, sorry about that. The foundation I'm going to use today is the Huda Beauty foundation, the Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation in the shade Baklava. Just looks like this. As you can see, that it does not match my skin tone. As I said before, I'm not trying to match my skin tone. So, okay, so now I'm just going to pump a bit of this onto the lid of the foundation. One pump, we'll start with one pump because it's very, very thick. And then I just use the Olivia Hale Home Bargains foundation brush to blend this out. So I'm just going to get my finger and, sorry I'm just looking in the mirror over here, dot it all over your skin. And then once you've done that, I'm just going to get the foundation brush and blend it in. I also put it on my eyelids just because it helps prime them for the eyeshadow. And I also have very veiny eyelids, so I just like to cover that up. Okay, now for me that's really light coverage, so I'm just going to go ahead and put another pump on the lid and do the exact same thing and blend it in. I'm just going to blend it down the neck as well, because it's actually, my neck's a very different colour than my foundation today, because I haven't fake tanned recently. I've just been getting as good of a real tan as possible. Okay, once I finish blending that in with my brush, I'm then going to go in with concealer. Now, the concealer I use when I go out is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NW20. Now, this is quite a thick concealer, so I'd never normally wear this on the daily, but when I go out, I just think this gives me a nice bit of extra coverage. So, because it's got a pump like a foundation, I'll just put it on the lid where I put the foundation in the same place. And just pump, you literally need a tiny bit of this. And I'll get my finger and do the same thing that I did with the foundation. And just pop it under my eyes. Like that. As you can see, this is much lighter than my foundation, but it just brightens up under the eyes. And then I'll actually go in with a damp beauty blender and blend that out. Okay, once I've done under the eyes, I'll then go back in with what's left on where I pumped out onto the lid of the foundation, and just put a bit in the centre of my forehead, just to a bit down my nose and a bit on my chin, and a bit here and here, as I always put it on my eyelids because it helps prime for eyeshadow. But I just put this all over my face, like just here, just to even out that brightness, so it's not just like, ooh, under the eyes. So again, I'll just go in my beauty blender and blend that out. Okay, once that's all blended, I then actually go in with a cream contour. Now, the cream contour I use is just the L'Oreal True Match Concealer in the shade 9DW, and it's called Mahogany. Take the excess off the sponge at the end of the concealer, and then just go like that down my cheekbones. You actually only need the tiniest bit. A few bits down my nose just to contour my nose, and just around my forehead. So once I've dotted that around my face, I then go back in my beauty blender and just blend that in. Okay, so once I finish blending out my contour, as you can see, I do look a bit weird now. I then go in with a cream blush. Now, I just get all my cream products done at the start, because if you put powder on and then go on with cream products, it's just not going to work. They're just going to drag and it's going to look a mess. So I then go in with the cream blush. This one's by Chanel and it's in the shade 23. And I just go like this and pop it on the apples of my cheekbones and the bridge of my nose, just to give like a flushed look. I put quite a lot of this on, by the way, just to bring a bit of colour back to my face. And then once I've popped that on, I then go back in with the beauty blender. I just use the other side or use the bottom to blend in the cream blush. And just go in my beauty blender one more time and press in all my foundation and go especially under my eyes where I've concealed, just to make sure that there's no creases. Then go in and set my face. The powder I'm using to do this is the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powder in shade Light Plus. First of all, I set my face all over with this Sephora brush. Now I just dip it in the powder and just get a tiny bit of powder on the brush and just brush it all over my face. So mainly focusing on my T-zone and under my eyes. Once I've lightly set my face, I then go in with my beauty blender, my damp beauty blender, and just take not even that much powder, to be honest, and I just press that under my eyes. So I wouldn't really call it baking, to be honest, because I don't use that much powder, but I just like to use a bit extra than I do for the rest of my face, under my eyes, just so, and on my eyelids, just so that they don't crease. if I was going like on a club night out and I was going to be sweating loads and stuff like that, then I definitely would properly bake, you know, like here in my T-zone with a different powder. But as we're just going for drinks or for dinner, I thought I'd just use a bit extra under the eyes. Okay, so once I've done that, I'll then actually go on to use the rest of the powder products on my face. So the first product I'm going to use is MAC Give Me Sun. I use this every single day as a bronzer, but today I'm going to use this on top of the cream contour. So I just put some bronzer on this Olivia Hale blush brush and just follow where I put the contour. I don't put too much bronzer on because obviously I've cream contoured, so I'm already pretty orange, so I just put a little light layer on just to set that contour really. So once I've gone in with the bronzer, I do also contour. I can't help it. I know I'm already orange enough, but I just can't help it. And I do actually use the Hoola Benefit bronzer again, same as I use in my everyday makeup routine, but I literally use the tiniest bit of this. And I go in with the brush that comes with it, and I just, I mainly use this actually to do my nose, where I cream contour. I just go down the side of my nose and on the tip with a little bit of bronzer, just to try and make it look a bit skinnier. And then I'll do a tiny bit on the cheekbones, just like that, and the same on the other side. So once I finish with my bronzer and contour, I then move on to the powdered blush. Now I use exactly the same blush that I use in my everyday makeup routine again. I just use a Sephora blush in the shade Shame on You. And the Smashbox, I assume this is a blush brush, I'm not sure because it's rubbed off. And I just pop this in the blusher and then smile like this so you can see the apples of your cheeks, and just pop it on the apples of your cheeks. And I also pop a bit on the bridge of my nose, just like that. Okay, so as you can see, I've got quite a lot of blusher on now. I'm quite pink. So I'm pink and orange. Love that from me. So now that I've finished with almost all the powder products on my face. So the next thing I actually do is my eyebrows. I do that before I do my eyeshadow. And I just brush through them first to get any of the product out. And then I go in with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. Okay, so I just get the Micro Brow Pencil, and on one end there's actually a spoolie. I just brush through my eyebrows with this, they desperately need doing. And then I go through with, I get the pencil end and just draw a line under the bottom of my eyebrow, and then one on the top like that. And then I'll just use the same eyebrow pencil and just fill in the like in between the two lines I've just drawn. Again, if I was going on like a big night out, like to a club or something, I probably wouldn't use eyebrow pencil because, like, I don't know about you, but when like I'm dancing or whatever, I get really sweaty and my eyebrows sweat. So I found that eyebrow pencil just comes straight off. I actually like to use a pomade on my eyebrows if I'm going on like a proper night out. We're not going on a proper night out yet, hopefully soon. I just apply a bit more pressure on this half of my eyebrow to get it a bit darker. And then when I do the front bit, I just do it really lightly. I just do little strokes upward. And then once I've done that, I'll just brush through again with the spoolie just to get the hairs into place. I then take the Benefit Gimme Brow. Now this is a really old one I found in my drawer. I need to get a new one, like the packaging, it hasn't been like this for years. But I found it in my drawer, so I'm going to use it. And because this is the only like brow setter I have. And I'll just set the brow hairs into place. I basically do exactly the same on the other eyebrow, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that off camera, and then I'll be back to do my eyeshadow. But I'm back, I've done the other eyebrow. Now that the eyebrows are done, I then move on to my eyeshadow. Now for like a soft glam look that I'm doing today for going for like dinner or drinks or whatever, there's two palettes that I can't really live without. They're both Morphe, so they're both affordable. And the first one is this one. It's a Morphe Nightmaster 15N palette, and it just looks like this inside. It's all browny neutral tones, and then this one's pretty similar actually. It looks like this, so again a lot of neutral browns, but this one's got more shimmers in it. And this one is just as a 25A palette. Now if I was going on like a proper night out, I'd prime my eyelids properly with either a lot of concealer or an eyeshadow primer. But because we're not going out, I'm just going to use what I've already put on. So I've already put on a bit of foundation, a bit of concealer, and I just set it down with a bit of powder. So there's no creases. First shade I'm going to use is from the 25A palette, and it's just this one here. They don't have names, so I can't tell you what it's called. And I'm going to use this Smashbox Fluffy blending brush that I use day to day. And this colour is just like a light nude colour, and I'm just going to put that all in my crease as like a transition shade. And I always hold an eyeshadow brush on the end, like here, because you're meant to put hardly any pressure on it to make it blend easier. Okay, so once I've done that, I then go in with the other eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to use the shade Selfie. It's just this shade here, and it's just like a warm brown shade, and the Spectrum B06 blending brush. It's a smaller blending brush. And I'm just going to again pop this in the crease of my eye. I'm then actually going to go in with same brush, but a slightly darker shade. I'm going to go back in with this palette and use this shade here, a slightly darker brown. I'm just going to focus that on the outer corner. Still the crease, but just the outer corner rather than taking it all the way into my eyelid. Probably take it to here, so maybe 3/4 of the way in, and bring it down a bit when it comes to the outer edge. And then do the same on the other eye. Now I'll then move on to quite a dark brown, but not too dark because we're just keeping it soft. So I'm going to go back in with this palette here and use the shade Editorial, which is just this shade here, quite a dark brown. And I'm going to use this flat Sephora brush. It's just like a flat eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of this shade and focus it on the outer corner. I'm not really going to put too much in the crease. Pop it on the outer corner and then just drag it in a bit. Bring it up to the outer crease, but I don't bring it too far in, otherwise that starts to make it too dark. Just like that. I don't make it into like a cat eye look, I just keep it rounded, and then just do the same on the other eye. Just pack it on in the corner. I then just go back in with the original blending brush and the first brown colour that I put on, so the shade Selfie from this palette. I just go back in with that, only a tiny bit, and just go over the whole crease and where I just popped that darker brown shade. I literally use the tiniest bit of product on this brush because it's already got product on, just to blend it all together. Okay, so as you can see, there's not much colour here, and then as you go out it just gets darker and darker, and the same on this side. And it's not perfect, it's quite like rustic, but I don't want it to be like a cut crease or like a perfect eyeshadow look. I just want it to be like a soft soft glam look. So I'm just going to carry on blending this out until I'm happy and both eyes look a bit more even than this. So once I've done that, I've done all the blending. That's all I'm going to put in my crease. That's what I'm going to do matte wise. I then go back in with this palette and I actually use, so see all these here are shimmers. I'm going to mix these 3 on the end here, just on my finger, because I just find you get better colour payoff if you do that. And then I'm just going to put it on the lids of my eyes up until that dark brown shade starts. Okay, just like that, just to give a little bit of shimmer. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do the same on the other eye. So I finished with the eyelids and now I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit under the eye. And for this, I just use this brush here. This is from Sephora, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a round shape and it's got a straight edge, so it's good for getting under the eye. So I just go in with that same shade from this palette, the top one here, Selfie, and I just put a little bit on this brush and just look up and drag. I can't really talk while I do this, but I look up and drag it under the eye. And then I don't drag it all the way to the inner corner because I think that makes your eyes look small. I just keep it on the outer edge, maybe 3/4 of the way in. And then I'll just blend it out, so I'll just carry on going like this so it's not a harsh line. Just like that. So as you can see, if you just pop a bit under the eye, it like helps tie the eye look together rather than it being quite a stark contrast here. Once I've finished doing that, I'll then add a little bit of highlight on my eyes. I just go back into this palette and use this first shade here, which is called Custom. And I get this small brush here. This is a Real Techniques accent brush. This is called an accent brush from Real Techniques. And just dip it into Custom, tap off the excess. And I just pop a bit under the brow and a tiny bit in the inner corner. So once I've done that, I'll then go back to my face makeup and actually do highlight. So the highlight I'm going to use today is the Fenty Beauty like Gold Duo one. And just pop a bit on the tops of my cheekbones. I bring it all the way around here and up just above the eyebrow. I then get a tiny bit and put it on the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose, and also on my Cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin. Okay, once I finish highlighting, and then go in with setting spray, because if I do my lashes and then put setting spray on, yeah, everything goes wrong. So I just use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, and make sure I've got my fan handy. And I just spray this all over my face. And get my fan and just fan myself till the setting spray is dry. I always use setting spray because it helps melt your makeup together and bring life back to your face, and yeah. Now I'm going to move on to lashes. Now I'm going to actually put some, because we're going out, I'm going to actually put some strip lashes on. And the ones I use are just the GWA Fantasy Lash. Now normally if I was going, like if I wanted a bit of a dramatic lash, I'd normally use Doll Beauty lashes. But this is more, I want to say more of a natural makeup look, but it's hardly natural. So now I'm going to move on to lashes. So I'm actually going to wear some strip lashes tonight because I'm going out. This is more of a glam look than a natural look. And normally I do wear Doll Beauty lashes, but I've actually not got any natural ones, well natural-ish ones here. I need to go out shopping and get some more. So the ones I'm using are just the GWA Fantasy Lash in the style Mermaid, and these are only £3 from Primark, so when you run out of your favourite lashes you can just go and grab these. And they're quite natural but they're very fluffy, so that's what I like about them. So first of all I curl my eyelashes with an eyelash curler, and then I'll put mascara on before I put the actual lash on. So I just give them a quick curl. And then just go in with a bit of mascara. This mascara is the Caution Extreme Lash Mascara in shade Ultra Black by Hourglass. So the glue I use is the Duo Lash Glue, and I just get my lashes in a pair of tweezers and pop it along the lash band. I've actually used these lashes before, so they have got a bit of glue on from last time, but that's alright. And I'll just pop that down and leave that to dry for about a minute until the glue is tacky, and then while I do that I'll just put mascara on the other eye and glue the other eyelash as well, just so that they both go tacky. So I'll pop the glue on this lash as well, and then pop that lash down and curl this eyelash and put a bit of mascara on, and then I should be ready to pop the lashes on. Okay, so I'm back. I've curled these lashes on this eye and put mascara on them, but I've also stuck these eyelashes down, and I'll just show you how I did it. So I've got the lash, I put glue on them before, so it has dried down a bit now. They should be nice and tacky. So I just grab them in a pair of tweezers and place them. First of all, I stick it down on the outer edge and then like roll it down to the inner. So just pop them down like that, and then use my fingers to put them in the right place. Then I'll just go and carry on moving them with my fingers where they're still a bit wet until I'm happy with where they are. Okay, so now both lashes are stuck down. You might be able to see a bit of glue, but that does dry clear, so that's fine. And then I'll leave them to dry for a little bit before I curl them. But I'm going to go back, first of all I'm going to go back in with the Caution Extreme Lash Mascara, and I just put this on the bottom lashes just to even things out a bit. Once the lashes are dried and you've put mascara on your bottom lashes, I'll then go in with the eyelash curler again and just lightly curl the lashes, just so that the false lashes and my natural lashes blend together a little bit better. Just like that, just so that they are blended together a bit better, so you can't see my natural lashes and the false lashes all separating. Finally, we move on to my favourite bit, and that is lips. Now, the lip combo, honestly, like, it varies for every single night out I go on. I have so many lipsticks, like, I'm always changing it. But today I've got, I literally don't even know what this lip liner is. I think it's Rimmel Cappuccino, I think. But it's just a dark brown shade, so I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips with this. I didn't really overline my lips too much for this. I only overline the Cupid's bow a tiny bit. And then I'm going to go in with MAC Honey Love. So I've only got a tiny bit of this left. And just put this all over my lips, all over. And then in the middle of that, I'll just go in with the shade Shrimpton, again, MAC. And pop that in the middle. And then finally, I'm going to go over the top with NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Madeline. And put that, I should literally put that all over my lips. And once I've done that, I am done. I just need to do my hair and obviously get changed before I go out. But that is it. That is my go-to soft glam makeup look for bars, drinks, or going out for dinner. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. I thought that I'd do my go-to soft glam makeup look just to celebrate finally getting some normality back into our lives, finally being able to go out and sit down and actually have a meal or a drink. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and also subscribe down below if you haven't already. It really does mean so much to me, so please, please, please subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in next week's video. Bye!